GameRanx here to talk about 15 of the best games of 2016 so far. We do this every year, we get a little excited and we jump the gun. These are the games that we absolutely have no doubt in our mind are worth playing, so let's get started off with number 15. Ratchet and Clank is a reboot reimagining of the classic PlayStation franchise. Unfortunately, this is exclusive to PlayStation 4, but it's worth playing if you have a Sony's console. There's so much going on here from a visual and gameplay perspective. All the features of Ratchet and Clank that you've known to love are all combined in this, with jetpacks, weapons, weapon upgrades, rail boots, and the awesome lovable characters and cool animation style, coupled with an awesome new graphical engine. Ratchet and Clank looks like one of the better games on PlayStation. It's a really great time, and if you're a gamer in your 20s, this will definitely bring back some nostalgia feeling. And at number 14, we have Far Cry Primal. You know, we actually forgot about this game at first when we were making our list, but when we thought about it, we had such a great time with this game. It's another great Far Cry game, but it really deserves props because it changes the formula on its head. Instead of rocket launchers and machine guns, you have spears and bow and arrows and prehistoric animals, and it's awesome. You can capture panthers and ride them. It's awesome, it's fun, it's good for an easy platinum or maxing out achievements, and it's definitely worth checking out. And at number 13, we're going a little indie with Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is a top-down bullet hell kind of shooter that has roguelike elements, and it is a ton of fun. Basically, how I describe the game is all you need to know. It takes a top-down twin-stick shooter bullet hell type of game and adds RPG and roguelike elements. And it is addictive and fun and charming, and you're gonna have a great time with it. It's cheap, it's easy to pick up and play, and it's difficult to master, and that's why we think it's worthy. And at number 12, we have Superhot. Superhot is an amazing and really awesome, unique first-person experience. You've probably never played an FPS game like this. And that's for good reason, because basically in this geometric world, time only moves when you move, so you plot out your moves accordingly, timing your attacks, dodging bullets left and right, and it kind of comes across as a warp time, slow, speed up type of first-person Hotline Miami. It's Twitch-based, you restart a lot, it's trial and error, it's very difficult, but it is a ton of fun. And at number 11, we have Firewatch, a game that on paper might not seem that interesting as it might just be another walking simulator, but thankfully it has enough unique charm, great voice acting, and characters that players really love this one. It looks gorgeous, it's got a hell of an art style because the entire game looks like concept art, and you basically live out the life of a forest ranger watching for fires in a guard tower. Getting to know him and some other people through the radio is just really great characterization, and it's really interesting. It's a fun playthrough. Maybe not fun in a traditional video game sense, but in terms of experiencing a cool story, it's probably one of the more unique games in that respect from this year. And at number 10, we have XCOM 2. XCOM 2 had a bit of a rough launch. It was incredibly buggy and poorly optimized, but now that things are starting to get fixed up, man, this game is great. We loved it back when we did it before you buy for it, and we love it even more now. It takes the graphics up to the next level, but it also improves upon every single element from what made the original XCOM great, and the fact that you can already mod it makes it more fun, so PC gamers definitely have a ton to enjoy with this one. And at number 9, we have Hitman. I personally had a ton of doubts as a hardcore Hitman fan seeing this episodic release model, but thankfully, so far, the things released are really great. This is like classic straight-up Hitman through and through. Whether you enjoyed Absolution or you felt a little disenfranchised as a hardcore old-school Hitman fan, this new Hitman game pretty much rights all the wrongs and makes a great Hitman game. The levels are massive and almost endlessly replayable with all different ways to tackle every single objective. And the cool part is that Square Enix is constantly updating the roster with different missions and different targets and contracts to take on. Whether you jump on now for the episodic thing or you wait for the full release, this new Hitman is definitely worth paying attention to. And at number 8, a complete surprise for me on this list is the Banner Saga 2. Having only spent a few hours with the first one, I didn't expect to go nuts for the second one, but sure enough, now I'm hooked and I've played them both back to back. The Banner Saga 2 is like a really excellent top-down, turn-based battle game mixed with a little Oregon Trail. Not only do you have those gameplay elements, but you also have an awesome story artfully told through hand-drawn animation. It is definitely a sight to behold, and you'll definitely get your money's worth for the Banner Saga 2. There is a lot of game here. And at number 7, we have The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine expansion. We're gonna count this as a real entry because this expansion gives you a whole new game world and it's like 30 to 40 hours long. I've spent a ton of time in Toussaint. This new region is incredibly colorful, varied, and unique, and totally different from The Witcher 3 main game, but it's also like the best send-off for The Witcher 3 and also the most experimental, and it is a ton of fun. Not only do they give you all this new story and enemies and people to meet, but you also get little features here and there added like a vineyard to manage and the ability to dye your armor different colors. The Witcher 3 Blood and Wine is a must-have for fans of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We do not recommend forgetting about this one. And at number 6, we have Stardew Valley, a game that seemingly came out of nowhere and took Steam and PC gamers by storm, and for good reason. It's basically Harvest Moon with more RPG elements. What more could you want? A Harvest Moon where you go in dungeons and then come back out and manage your farm and do your thing? It's perfect. It is so much fun. I'm sure eventually we're gonna see it on consoles too, so don't forget about this one. But damn, if you haven't played Stardew Valley yet, pick it up. It's pretty cheap and it is a ton of fun, and it will suck up all hours of your life. And at number 5, we have Total War Warhammer. I gotta say, the Total War series was a great RTS series, but ditching all that historical mumbo-jumbo for Warhammer lore is amazing and probably the best choice they could have made. It works out perfectly. This is probably one of the best Total War games we've had in a while. I had a ton of fun with it, and the different factions to orcs, dwarves, and even vampires and undead armies make this game a ton of fun, especially for people who are into the fantasy Warhammer lore. There's a lot of game here with multiple campaigns thanks to all the factions and also different leaders to play as within those factions. This is a damn good RTS, easily the best one releasing this year. And at number 4, we have Doom. This new Doom is so incredibly badass and basically perfect. It's one of the most fun, fast-paced, relentless first-person shooters that we've played in a while. It reeks of polish and passion, and it is just so great. It adapts some things from Quake and some things from Doom and just makes it the perfect old-school nod to PC first-person shooters. It looks amazing, the music is absolutely intense, the gore is visceral, but most importantly, it is challenging and so much damn fun. If you haven't thought about Doom yet, you probably should. And at number 3, we have another game that has taken the world by storm, Overwatch. This competitive team-based shooter is played by everyone, I gotta say. I see a lot of hardcore people playing it, but I also know a lot of casual people who have never played a first-person shooter before. They go and play Overwatch. That's because the appeal is just so vast here. The characters are great, each one is incredibly unique and fun, game modes are easy to pick up and play, and thankfully Blizzard has just added the new competitive mode for more of you who like a challenge, and basically the virtual rock, paper, scissors of each character counteracting one another, and the emphasis on absolute teamwork makes Overwatch a unique first-person shooter game this year, and one that you should definitely at least try if you haven't already. Oh man, it's good. And at number 2, we have Dark Souls 3, seemingly the last From Software game in the Souls series. Damn, it's really good. And if this is the end of the Souls series, at least for the game's creator, damn, he's going out with a bang. Dark Souls 3 is more of what you expect from the other Souls game, a really hardcore, challenging RPG with tons of mystery and things to discover, and that's just what makes it so special. The sense of community and discovery, and not to mention the endorphin rush you get when you finally beat that incredibly challenging boss, makes Dark Souls 3 an experience unlike anything you're probably gonna play this year. And I know that sounds like really lofty and whatever, but fucking Dark Souls 3 is awesome. And at number 1, we have Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. It was our most anticipated game of the year, and it's pretty much one of our favorites. We get to see the final tale of Nathan Drake in his saga, and it is an awesome one. This time around, you get a new character, Nathan Drake's brother Sam, and he adds an interesting dynamic to the mix. And not to mention the gameplay is improved here with some open areas, more stealth elements, and of course, the visuals are insane. Graphically, this is probably easily the best looking PlayStation 4 game ever. Whether it's exploring caves, driving jeeps in jungles, or punching and shooting dudes, Uncharted 4 has it locked down. It is a ton of fun and one of the best gaming experiences of this year. We love it. So guys, those are our favorite games of 2016 so far. Of course, we've done before you buy videos on a lot of these, so be sure to check them out. We also got some bonus games though, including Stellaris, the indie darling Hyper Light Drifter. The Division was decent, at least when it first released. Fallout 4's big expansion, Far Harbor. The awesome Rise of the Tomb Raider getting a PC version. And Remedy's newest time-shifting third-person shooter, Quantum Break. You guys gotta let us know what you have been playing in 2016. What are some of your favorite games? Because there were a ton that couldn't make this list. But we do want to hear your top 10 down below, so let us know. If you enjoyed this video and maybe learned about a new game or two, clicking the like button helps us out a ton, and we really appreciate it. If you're new though, subscribing is a good idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.